Hey everybody! Today's video is going to be about finishing traditional flat embroidery projects. So, excuse the goofy angle here. I have the phone on a tripod and most of the video is going to be facing my tabletop where I show you how to do these things. But of course, first I wanted to give you an explanation. So, here you go. Now, as you probably know, most of my embroidery is in the hoop, which means that I am creating an item while in the hoop from raw materials, whereas traditional embroidery, you're embellishing a finished item. Now, the other angle of that is you can embroider a design onto a piece of fabric and then make it into a finished item, so it's not in the hoop, so a little bit of a gray area there. So anyway, what I was finding was that I love Urban Threads and Embroidery Library. Their designs are excellent, very well digitized, never had a single problem with any of them, and I've made a couple hundred easily. I didn't really know what to do with the designs, so I had so many where I bought them and never stitched them because I didn't know what to do with them. I mean, how many tote bags and pillows does one person possibly need? So I've come up with a couple solutions that I think are pretty good, and I wanted to share those with you. So first, while I've got the camera in this direction, I'm going to show you one of them. It's right in front of me here. This is what I'm calling a pillow wrap. This is an embroidery, or an Urban Threads design, and you can see I'll turn this around. I used cam snaps in the back of it, so it literally just wraps around a pillow, and then I can change it out whenever I feel like it. This is the cotton duck cloth. It's a canvas. It's from Joann Fabrics, but if you just look for cotton duck on any fabric website, you should be able to find it. And I just cut it, I think it was about maybe an inch shorter than the circumference of the pillow, and then about 11 inches high, and then I hemmed it on the sewing machine. Of course, all after I stitched the embroidery design, then I added the snaps. The advantage of this is that you don't have 50 pillows that you're trying to find a place to store in your house. You can just have this one pillow in a neutral color and then put these wraps around it and change up your look. And then as I do, I have the ones I'm not using stored in the closet, and they take up a very small fraction of what a whole pillow would have looked at or taken up. I mean, you can, of course, they do have like pillow covers that zip open and go on like this one actually is, but the wrap thing is kind of cool because you can get a contrasting color, and then also it's cheaper because you're using less fabric, and then you don't have to mess with the zipper. Or if you had to buy a pillow cover, of course, that's going to cost a little more. So yeah, quicker, easier, cheaper. Alright, so I'm going to turn the camera now, and I'm going to show you two other things that I do for to make something usable from a traditional embroidery design. Alright. Try not to shake the camera too much. Here we go. Okay, so let me put this pillow behind me here. So as you can see right here, I have a design that I stitched onto the cotton duck cloth, the canvas. This is from Urban Threads. It's kind of cute. This has been real popular in my shop. And then over here, I have this little flamingo design. This is from Embroidery Library. I'm going to show you this one first because this is a quicker one. Now, you can sew something like this. Well, first let me back up. What this is basically like a pennant type of banner. This particular one is an in the hoop design, so I kind of turned a traditional embroidery design into an in the hoop project. It is from Parker on the Porch. She has, it's called the Big Fat Banner, and this is the largest size, 8x8, and I think it goes down to 5x5 if I remember correctly. So, so yeah, you can download that design, then you use embroidery software to basically combine the two designs. I do the first two steps first. The first step is the placement, And actually I put the felt down before the placement, so then it holds the felt in place while I'm embroidering onto my cutaway stabilizer. After that step is this one right here. This creates the little pocket for the dowel that goes through, which I'll show you in a moment. Then you stitch your design here, and then the last step is the outline, and that's when you add the felt on the back, so it just makes it nice and clean on the back. So you can also just stitch onto a piece of fabric of your choice and then draw out a design like this or something, whatever shape you want, and you could sew this on the sewing machine. I just find this is a lot quicker and easier, and I like how it looks. So for this, after you've cut it out, you take a dowel. This is just the standard 1/4 inch thick dowel. It's 12 inches long. If you're using one of the shorter designs, you could cut it down if you wanted, but it's so simple. All you do is just get the opening. Of course, it's going to take longer now that I'm on camera. There we go. And you push it through here, just like that. Center it, and there you go. The next step would be to add your ribbon. And then also you could certainly paint this dowel if you wanted to. I think it looks fine as is. The ribbon piece, this is 3/8 inch wide grosgrain ribbon. You could of course use whatever ribbon you want to, that's just what I'm using. And I cut it to be about 18 inches long. So what I do is I just tie it around here, and then you can just pull it tight, but what I'm finding is that sometimes that knot wants to come loose. So what I do is I pull it a little bit tight, and then I take my glue gun here and I just put a little dot of glue onto that dowel, slide the ribbon in place, pull it tight, and then that should be there to stay. Then cut your ribbon end however you want, and then you take a lighter and heat seal it, just like this. Just like a second, it's done. And then you just do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm just tying a knot, mostly tight, move it aside, add some hot glue, and pull it tight. And just make sure that that knot is, or that glue is hidden underneath the knot. And there you go, it's done. So it's very quick and easy, and it's a great way to use all these embroidery designs that you've bought and haven't figured out what to do with them yet. Okay, so there's that. It's already finished. Just have to heat seal the other end of the ribbon, and that one is ready to hang up, sell, or gift. So this is the other method I'm going to show you. So this is a hand embroidery hoop. But you know, we obviously didn't do this by hand, we did it by machine, but it doesn't mean we can't put it into one of these to display our work. And one of these round designs is perfect. It looks perfect. So what I do is I make note of the measurement of the design. So this one is like 5 and change inches around. So what I found for me that works the best is I round up to the nearest inch and then add 1 more inch, and that's how I determine what size embroidery hoop that I buy. You can get these on Amazon for pretty cheap. I think they end up being less than $1 each depending on the size. There's also a site I saw called Consumer Craft that they had some really good prices, so I might end up trying them as well. So anyhow, it comes unfinished, and as you can see, I painted, or actually my daughter painted this one black. And then you can see you don't even have to paint it all the way, because this is the back side. If you wanted to, you could, but you don't have to. But as long as the sides and then this top edge are painted black, you're good. And then of course this is not going to be visible, so there's no point in painting it. So here is what you do. You take your design in your hoop and then just center it, then kind of hold on to it so it doesn't slip. Lay it onto your work surface,
grab the inner portion of your hoop and then push down. I think I might need to loosen the screw on the hoop a little bit. It's hard to tell because I'm pushing on this at an angle, which doesn't give me very good leverage. I think I'm going to loosen it. So if you're not familiar with how these work, you just hold onto that nut right there and unscrew it, makes it looser. And then we're going to try that again. So flipping it around. Also make sure that that screw is at the top. And then I'm just going to stand up so I can get some leverage here. There you go. And then just push it down throughout. And then let's see how it came out. All right. That looks good. That looks centered to me. And then if it didn't push down all the way, you can just kind of work with it like this to make sure that it is all in place. There you go. And then you can tighten this little thumb screw at the top. There we go. All right, so of course we're not done yet because we want to have this all gone right here, but we want to make it also look nice. So this is the part that took me a while to figure out how to best do it. At first I had tried cutting some off and then like doing a running stitch and trying to gather it all in the back. It looked really terrible. And I tried just maybe cutting an edge and then with a pinking shears and just leaving it like that. I don't like the way it looks. So this is what I came up with. I just get this cord out of the way, make sure I don't accidentally cut it with my scissors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about an inch out from this hoop. Just getting rid of this excess. All right. So it's about an inch, maybe a little less. All right. You don't want to cut it too wide because what I've found is that if you do that, when you fold it down, it kind of pokes out and shows through on the front. It doesn't look very good. So, but you do want enough so that you can glue it and wrap it around, which of course I will show you in a moment here. Alright, so you got a little scrap, so I will set that aside. I probably make doll shoes out of it or whatever. So this is what we have now. Alright, this is where you take your hot glue gun, and it's going to start at the top because it's got this little gap here, so I like to have it nice and smooth there. So it's a good spot to start. And you're just going to run a little bit of glue along the inside of this inner hoop. And then just do a little bit at a time because, in case you didn't know, hot glue dries very quickly. And we need to go around here and just smooth this out and press the fabric down there. And you can kind of see how this is looking already. And just do a little section again. And then just keep wrapping it around that edge there. So then you can see this inner hoop is not going to be seen. That's why we didn't need to paint it. And actually you don't even need to paint this hoop. I mean, some of the pieces I've done, I left the piece unpainted because I liked the way it looked. So it's up to you. So just keep wrapping it around like that. Just press it into place. It's very simple. Another thing you could do also, I mean, you definitely want to paint this front no matter what, but you could actually come around afterwards and glue a piece of ribbon to this outer edge. Like if you had some really cute ribbon, or you couldn't find a paint color that you were happy with, that coordinated with the design that you stitched, that would be another option for you. So there's a lot of room for creativity here. This spot I cut it a little too short, but I'm kind of used to being burned by hot glue, so I'm not even really feeling it. There we go. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole thing so I can show you what it looks when it's finished. Now you can see from the back here, and it doesn't look great from the back, but it doesn't look terrible either, and it kind of shows like all the work that went into it. So that, I mean, you could think of it that way. But if it really bothers you to have this visible on the back, what you can do is cut a circle of felt that fits in here and just glue it over the top of that. And that would give you a clean finish. Or I suppose even if you wanted to, you could take some cardstock and cover it with that, since it's just on the bottom or on the back side of this anyway. Alright, but look at that! Isn't that great? And then to hang it, you could just hang it from like a little picture hook, either inside here or from this thing, or you could get really fancy and, you know, hang a piece of, put a piece of ribbon through here and hang it with that. You know, like this. You could tie a knot there or a little bow, and you could hang it from the wall like that. So there you go. Got a couple options there. There is one other option that I actually remember once I started filming this, but this one involves power tools. But my husband actually makes a wooden frame that then we wrap the canvas around that and staple it around the back. But yeah, that makes it kind of heavy, and it's expensive and time consuming, and you need power tools. So I could show you that one in depth if you want, if a lot of people wanted to see it, but I just find these are really simple, cost effective, they look awesome, and it's something that you don't need power tools or help with to make. So alright, so hopefully this was informative to you all. I hope these were useful. Let me know in the comments if you tried either of these methods out, or if you have any other ideas of ways that we can use traditional 2D embroidery designs in new fun ways. Alright, so give me a thumbs up if you like this video, share it with your other embroidery friends, and thanks so much for watching.